I made $16,000 on an NQ futures trade that I took just a couple of days ago. And today I'm going to show you exactly how I took that trade, my bias, the entry model, the stop loss placement, and the target of how I actually executed this trade. You're going to be able to take this information away yourself and apply it to your own trading strategy. This is very different to probably anything you've seen on YouTube because this is a strategy that I devised myself by combining a variety of different confluences and ideas that I've developed over the last couple of years to go and trade this every single day. I only really show this to the people that are in my coaching community, guys. So if you're watching this, you're in for a treat because this content is not available anywhere else. I haven't taught this before, but let's actually jump into this and let me show you how I took this trade. First things first that I want to show you is when I actually come into a trading day, the very first thing that I want to do is I want to figure out my bias on the day. Now, in my other videos, I've talked about how there isn't necessarily always a requirement to have a bias, but this is really dependent on the trading model that you have, right? If you're trading a mechanical model, such as the 5-minute breakout that I teach in my other videos, then you don't really need that bias, right? But I am trading a specific way here where I do want to take the bias into account. Now, if we look at the chart and you look at the structure of price, you can clearly see that we are in an uptrend, right? Like it's very, very clear that we're trending up. So there's no reason for me to really look for shorts. Now, a lot of people, when they're trading, they will look for opposing kind of trades where the trend is really clearly in one direction, but they still want to go for a short position. There's nothing specifically wrong with that. It can work. But in my experience, your chances are always going to be higher when you're actually just trading in the direction of the trend. There's much more likelihood of price actually pushing towards that direction because it's already confirmed to us that it wants to go in that direction. So you've already got one confluence in that the trend is bullish here. So we're going to look for a bullish position. So that's the very first thing that I do. I come on the chart and I make sure I get an understanding of what the bias is. Another thing that I want to point out, right? If we go on the 4 hour here, we're actually trading at all-time highs. So if I come out here, you can see here that we're trading right at the all-time highs of price, right? So that means that I'm not really looking for a short position for that reason as well. When you're trading at all-time highs, chances are is that price is really just going to keep continuing to expand and look for that bigger move to the upside, right? So it's very important that we really take that into account when we're looking at our position, right? If we're trading at all-time highs, then you shouldn't really be trying to look at a short at that position, in my opinion. All right. Again, it's only my opinion. This is my trading model. This is how I trade. All right. So that's the first thing. Now, the next thing that I want to introduce you to is something that I use called the ICT kill zone indicator, right? So you're going to see it here, ICT kill zones and pivots. It's going to turn that on. What this does is it basically shows you a session high and a session low of the Asia, London, and New York sessions. Now, on my particular settings, I don't actually use the New York session, all right? I only use Asia and I use London, and I'll explain why in a second. But Asia and London are the levels that I mark out. If you want to take a screenshot of this, you can actually just take a picture and you can use that for your own setup if you want to take it, all right? So there's my setup. All right, I'll close that. Now, what you can see here is on this particular day, I can see that we are trading Asia high right here, that's a green line. Asia low is that green line. London high is that red line, and London low is this red line. So when price trades into one of these levels, right, during the New York session, chances are is that we're going to see a reversal from that. So as an example, right, we've got London levels here and we've got Asia here. If New York opens at 9:30, which is just over here, and it ends up trading into these levels, so let's say it comes and taps this London level here, there is a strong chance that the price can actually reverse and go in the opposite direction. It can use it as a what's known as a liquidity sweep. All right. So we look at the levels that we have here as areas of liquidity that price can sweep and then go the other way. Now, liquidity sweep, what does it mean? It simply means that price is going to come into a level, it's going to capture all of the orders and all of the liquidity that sits there, and then it's going to use that liquidity to move in the opposite direction. And what we mean by liquidity is that there's lots and lots of resting orders in that area. So if we look here, this wick, what it means is that there's lots and lots of orders that have been placed at this level. So when price comes down and it taps this, because of the amount of orders and liquidity we have, it will cause a reaction and price will go in the opposing direction. This is a really simple technique to actually scalp. When you see price trading into these levels, you can easily just take a scalp and trade it in the opposite direction. It's a great way to scalp, 50 to 60 points a day. But I'm actually going to use this in addition with something else that I'm going to show you to get a bigger trade out of this, right? So that's the first thing, right? We're going to look at that and we're waiting for price to basically trade into these levels to look for a reversal. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to trade specifically at 9:30, all right? I'm not going to trade anything before that. I want to trade when New York actually opens. That's when I'm actually going to be looking for a position here. Now, one other concept that I'm going to introduce you to before we actually move to 9:30 is the volume profile, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this indicator here. It's called SVP, and you can see my settings just here if you want to take a screenshot of that, all right? SVP, these are my settings, okay? So if over the 5-minute time frame, we're going to see a little bit more information, right? So this is your volume profile. Now, I'm not going to get too detailed into this because I am going to make a separate video about how to read the volume profile. But what I want you to know for now is two things. The top line here, that's your value area high, all right? And the bottom blue line here is the value area low. Let's ignore this red line for now because I don't want to confuse you, okay? But all I'm basically looking for, right, is I want the value area low to be lining up with the London low. All right. So if I now basically zoom in back to the 1 minute, you're going to see that the value area low just there is lining up right with the London low. So what does that mean? Well, to put it into really simple terms, the value areas are basically telling us where price has basically told us, or the market has told us that the price is either too cheap or is too expensive on average, right? So if price comes down to the value area low, this volume profile is essentially telling us that that area of price may be a little bit on the cheaper side. So guys, if the price is on the cheaper side when we get to the value area low, that means that there's a very strong likelihood that price could reverse. All right. That's simply all it is. A same thing with the value area high. Now, on the value area high, you can see that there's a slight difference, right? On the value area high, the London level is actually not really in sync with the value area high, right? London's all up there, value area is over here. What I want is for price to be really nice and close together. I want the London low and the value area low to be nice and close together like this. That's what interests me. All right. So now that we have that, all I'm looking for is for price to actually tap into this value area low, and I want it to sweep. Okay. So let's actually play this out and see what happens, right? Let's get to 9:30. So as you can see, when we get into 9:30, price is still not really doing much. But as it comes into open, you can see price comes down, and now it starts tapping into this London low. Now, this is where it gets interesting, guys, because keep an eye on this value area low, right? What we're going to do is we're going to use an inversion model to basically take the reversal. All right. So how do we do that? Well, really simply put, all we're looking for is a fair value gap, like this one right here, just like that. And just real quick, if you don't know what a fair value gap is, it's essentially when you have a 3-candle pattern where the first candle's low doesn't overlap the third candle's high. So you got candle 1, 2, and 3 here. There's the first candle's low, just there. Third candle's high is just there, right? So low there, high there. And you can see that it forms this gap, right? That's your fair value gap. Now, once we actually trade into the London low just there, I'm looking for a reaction, right? So typically, what we would like to see is something like this, where price now actually sweeps down, it trades up over that fair value gap, and it closes above it, and then we can take the reversal to the other side. So let's actually see what happens here. There's the price, and it comes up, and it takes it. Now, at this moment, a lot of people would probably take this trade, and I talked about this live on my trading session with my group last week, where a lot of people are going to take this trade. They would go long here because they're basically taking an inversion, right? And they'll take that to the upside or whatever, and then they'll put their stop here. But I didn't take this initial trade. I didn't take it because the value area low right there has moved down a little bit and it hasn't actually been hit. So because it hasn't really tapped it and because the value area is being pushing down, I want to see price really tap this before I take this. So you'll see here, price actually reverses from there. It doesn't actually, the inversion doesn't work at this point. So you would lose that trade. And then price comes down and it really takes out that value area low, right? You can see that it now eliminates that value area low. So now all I'm looking for is for the price to come back into the value area. So I don't want to take this inversion here. I'll show you. I'm not really interested in taking this one. Why? Because the value area, sorry, the fair value gap here is actually underneath the value area. So I'm not really interested in that. What I want to see is price just come up ever so slightly, right? Just there. There we go. That's better. So now you can actually look at this gap here, and now you're good to go. So what we did was we actually took this position live. That's the one that I was showing you earlier. Stop loss just basically goes to the swing low, right? The entry model is simply this, right? We got the inverted fair value gap. We've come over the value area low, so that looks good to me. And then I just wait for the candle to close. And once it closes, I enter the trade. My target is actually just going to be the opposing liquidity level, which is basically there. All right. Your London high. So if I go on a 5 minute, you'll see that we had the London high level just up there. We swept the low just here, and that's London high, right? So we then play that out, and you will see that the trade, it chops around for a little bit, right? It does chop around for a little bit, but we ended up getting a really nice move. We then go break even once we basically take these highs. That's now a break even trade. And the trade runs nicely to target. Does take a long time, this one, guys. Like, it was a bit of a slower trade, but it was a great trade. We took it live in the community, as I said, $16,000 on that one. So that was really amazing. Now, some of you might be wondering, how did you manage to do $16,000? Well, I don't actually need to trade my own capital. I use prop firms to basically build the accounts up, and then I trade multiple prop firms at the same time to basically stack the accounts, right? So the firm that I use is Apex. If you want to use Apex, go ahead. You can use the code XOTO to get yourself a 90% discount, and you can go ahead and stack up over of 20 accounts over at Apex, actually, which is really amazing. But that's how I managed to basically stack up all that cash. And that's basically the strategy, guys. That's the breakdown of the trade that I took last week. And if you want to learn my strategy in a bit more detail, and you want to understand what the nuances are behind taking a trade like this in a little bit more detail, then do go ahead and check out my course, The 90-Minute Trader, where you get access to all my trading models, and you can learn to actually go and execute this on your own. We've got thousands of customers that have been in this program, thousands of customers that have given us reviews, testimonials, who've gone on to get payouts, pass evaluations, and have incredible results on their own, all by following the simple setups that I show you here, so you can learn it for yourself. And look, this is not about copying me, guys. This is about coming into a community, learning and educating yourself so that you know how to actually go and do this yourself. So if you like this video, you like the breakdown, please hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.